Last time on Let's Play Mega Man X. Just pretend that you're one with the syrup. In Japan, his name in Japan. In Japan, or like his Japanese name is. In Japan, his name is Spark Mandrill Syndrome. The forming torpedo. It's like the freeze cracker from Mega Man 7. Except good, fire like a crazed chimpanzee. And now the continuation. And boom. Now that I've scared every potential viewer off, let's start the video, shall we? This is the Mississippi King welcoming y'all back to more Let's Play Mega Man X, and in this episode, we're going to do some backtracking. With that in mind, get ready, folks! It's actually not that much, I just need to visit 2 stages. I mean, technically 3, but that's not on this playthrough because the 3rd secret is kind of a pain to get, and I don't really get it most of the time in like my playthroughs. However, I am just going to pick up a couple heart tanks that I didn't get, and the reason I didn't show off Sting Chameleon stage change is because, well, I didn't trigger it. So it was my plan to show off what his stage is like in the video I showed it off in, and then to show off the stage change after we finished all of the Mavericks, because you need to beat Launch Octopus in order to get the heart tank. With that out of the way, now I can talk about something that I've been meaning to talk about for a while. I touched on it at the end of the last video, and that's that the sprite size is just perfect for this game. It is slightly bigger than the NES games, and that's perfectly fine. The point is, your field of view is still big enough that you can see things coming. And this is especially important in the X series because, well, it's a lot more fast-paced than the Classic series. You need to speed through stages a lot, so it's important to be able to see what's coming at you. And the sprite size is just very suited for this. And I do think that Mega Man 7's sprite size was, for the most part, designed around it, but it still wasn't ideal because, like, that still meant that your field of view was small. So I guess when people criticize Mega Man 7's sprite size, they're really talking about the field of view being smaller relative to how it was in the NES games. I mean, I still like Mega Man 7 and all. Don't get the wrong impression from this. I still enjoy it, it's just sometimes you couldn't see what was coming. And that's pretty annoying, I must admit. And I feel I should say again, I love this music. This is fantastic. It's one of my favorite pieces of music in the entire series. Well, one of my favorite Maverick themes in the entire series. That's about it. We're showing off the heart tank right there. And so, of course, with that in mind, you need the fire wave in order to break the igloos. And now it's time to show off the secret in Armored Armadillo stage. It actually has an interesting secret. What you're supposed to do is to have all upgrades and be at full health with all heart tanks, and you need to grab the pellet at the top of the thing at the entrance to Armored Armadillo. You grab it and then you die, you grab it and then you die again, you grab it and die again, and then it will show up. Strictly speaking, you don't actually need to die. I believe you can actually get it without dying once. It's just the fastest route to get it. If any of y'all have played Street Fighter 2 or any of these Street Fighter games really, then it should look very familiar.
I give you a special present. Now enter this capsule, please.
So, with this, we actually get the Hadouken from the Street Fighter games. And yes, you actually pull off the same quarter circle movement in order to execute it. So, you press a quarter circle plus the shoot button, and then you can fire off a Hadouken. And this actually kills every boss in the game in one hit. Yes, one hit. And I'll show it off against a chill penguin right here. Or, I could also just get hit. Yeah, that's one problem. You need to be at full health in order to use it. So, that can be a bit tricky to manage. But once you fire it off, it takes out every boss in the game in one hit. So, now that we're done with all of the secrets and the backtracking, it's time to tackle Sigma's Fortress. Yes, that's right, we're finishing the game, not in this video, but in the next one. This is Sigma's Fortress, also known as Sigma's Hideout or as the Sigma Palace. Let's split up.
I'll go in first, and then you can slip in while I keep the main defense force busy.
Now that we're here in Sigma's Fortress, I must say, it's pretty good. I like how it's structured. It has some very unique platforming challenges, which I feel that the game has kind of been lacking up to this point. But they changed things up in Sigma's Fortress, and it makes for some very interesting platforming, and I love that. And one thing I should also talk about, like the classic series, these stages and the equivalent to these stages in the X series, they all contain end bosses, as you may expect, and the info cards are going to work a bit differently this time. And so, basically what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the main stage info in these bosses, which may seem redundant. However, the stages for these places change drastically from game to game.
Stay back, X. I'll take him on.
So, I feel I should show that off. And now we're up against Boba Fett. Yes, I know his name is technically vile, but sue me! Also, when I said that future games introduced the dialogue between the bosses, actually, it was this game that introduced it, so I stand corrected.
X, do what I tell you or he's history. Don't listen to him, X. Go ahead and blast him. Dream on zero. X knows he can't defeat me. My armored carrier is more than a match for his ancient weapons.
So in order to beat him, you need to juggle 4 balls, specifically baseballs. It can't be basketballs, it can't be bowling balls. You have to make it baseballs. Don't go taking any shortcuts. Also, wear a t-shirt this time. That's important. You gotta remember the t-shirt. Don't forget to put some toast in the toaster because, as they say, all toasters toast. You'll also want to make sure that that toaster is sentient, because otherwise this whole thing isn't going to come about. You also want to try and put a headscarf over your head, and then you'll want to chant, I need scissors, 61! Then you'll want to tie your shoelaces in a hangman's knot. I'm not sure why it's a hangman's knot, but trust me, it makes it 10 times easier. Then you'll want to light a protein bar on fire. That's also gonna make things quite a bit easier. And you'll also want to chant, All hail the almighty edgelord, and then tie your hair in a knot. Doesn't matter what kind of knot, just tie it. And if you're bald, well, guess you can't win this.
In other words, you can't actually beat him.
Maybe, but I'm not through yet.
So, yeah, once again, this fight is unwinnable, and it's kind of annoying, too, because isn't part of the point of the story about his growth? Isn't part of the story about X's growth?
What a worthless gesture. I can't be defeated so easily. So, X, it's just you and me now.
So, why do you make the ride armor undefeatable? That seems so silly.
What the? Where did that energy come from? It really doesn't matter how much you absorb X. You are still far too weak. Prepared to be terminated.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. I couldn't resist. He's weak to the rolling shield, as the info card no doubt says. So, you'll want to just spam that, and he should go down very easily. He is not a problem whatsoever. He's actually probably the easiest part of this stage.
X, I've taken too much damage. Auto repair systems can't handle it. My power is fading fast. Your power is greater than I thought. Maybe you can destroy Sigma.
And he passes away. But if you get to him without having collected the arm part, this is what he says, and he gives you his arm cannon. So once he does that, indeed, Zero can say, "But I live on through this arm!" In fact, he does live on through this arm, which, again, makes absolutely no sense out of context, but anyway, there's no difference between Zero's arm cannon and Dr. Light's arm cannon, so I won't be showing that off. You'll want to charge up Sting Chameleon's weapon for this part. The music choice I've gone with it. Well, the way the boss order is handled is that you're actually taking them out in a specific order. So I've chosen 8 different themes. One of them, this is a very tricky spot by the way, kind of find it annoying. The themes I've chosen are all from the game Phantasy Star IV, End of the Millennium, with the first one being the main theme, and the other 7 being all of the battle themes. It's a great game, by the way, with fantastic music, and I do hope to highlight some of the game's great battle tracks in this place, and they'll be shown in the order of their appearance. So I'm going to just speed through all of it. I'll explain why I chose that game's music in the next video. But, as for Vile, in Japan, he's known as Vava, which I think is similar to how the Japanese would pronounce the name Boba. So, he really is Boba Fett. Or maybe that's not how it's pronounced, and I'm just making a fool of myself. That happens sometimes. And he's a maverick hunter. Sound familiar? Sound like, you know, a bounty hunter? This is going overboard. Anyway, and it's spelt in all caps for some reason. Why? That's not the last we'll be seeing of Boba Fett, by the way. Zero also died earlier, as you could see, and it's like in this game, there's really no impact to that on the narrative, because it's like, we just got to know Zero! It's like, oh, yeah, Zero just died, okay, I didn't even get to know you, am I supposed to feel bad about that? And it's even more stupid for a reason that I'll touch on when we get to X2. But here we're fighting Bospider. which is a very fun fight. He, creates paths that he goes down through. You'll want to go to the path that you're sure he's not going to show up at, and his weakness is, of course, the shotgun. There's no large text box in the info card for this boss, but I'll explain why that is in the next video. And he's a fun fight. This is it, by the way. We're done with this video. This is the Mississippi King signing out, and in the next episode, we'll finish the game, folks. So join me for the finale of Let's Play Mega Man X. See y'all then.